Let's see. There we go. Oh, we'll give David a second so we're all on the same page.
Ah, here I am.
Hello. Ugh. Hold on, let me take off sweater. It's warmer than I thought it would be. And we're back. It's been like 3 weeks. Let's see if I still know how to do this. All right, I'll count us down from three, two, one, boom. Let's record this because I love recording this. All right, it's been a while. Yeah, since pre 600K, but we made it. So let's find a sitting position that's comfortable. Okay, yet alert, relaxed yet alert. You can close your eyes if that's comfortable or gaze softly in front of you. And let's start with 3 deep breaths. So let's begin by breathing in through your nose. And as you breathe out through your mouth, settle your body. Control the exhale, feeling the air as it exits your lips. And next, deep breath, breathing in through the nose. Okay, feel your chest expand. Second time, exhaling slowly, settling in even deeper. Okay, third time, breathing into the nose. Breathe out through the mouth. And then you can resume a normal breathing pattern. And let's relax our whole body from top to bottom. So, starting from the crown of your head down to your forehead and eyelids, and then your whole face, relaxing your jaw down to your neck, maybe giving your neck a quick crack. And then from our neck, moving down to the shoulders, down through your arms, all the way to your fingertips, taking a moment to notice where your hands are. And it might be resting in your lap or gently resting on your knees. It doesn't matter. Just notice how your arms feel as we continue to breathe. And then back to your chest, gently expanding and contracting, working our way down our spine, down the back, forward to your stomach. And then let's get to the lower half of our body. So notice how your glutes feel against your mat, through your hamstrings and your quads, to your knees and shins. And then from your shins, notice your shins touch your feet if you're sitting cross-legged. And then notice how your feet touch your mat. And for the next minute or so, just sit here and focus on your breath. That was about a minute. And for the last 30 seconds, just sit here and hang out. Don't focus on anything. Don't breathe in any way. Just continue to relax your body. All right, one more deep breath in and then hold it at the top. You hear the singing bowl, you can open up your eyes. Oh, all right. The glorious sun is blinding me. I asked for this 6 months ago, and here it is. All right, let's turn our bodies counterclockwise. Let's get our spines first. So press the left hand into the ground, pressing the right hand into the left knee, and turn your head towards your left shoulder, and press and twist everything. And then gently exhale and unwind, and let's get the other side. Okay, sun's still blinding me. Oof, but at least its warmth feels good. All right, pressing that left palm into the right knee, feeling your spine twist in the opposite direction. Every time you exhale, see if you can push and twist a little bit further. We're going to unwind back to center. And then let's get a sitting side stretch. So take those hands and fingers and reach for the ceiling. Look up and then drop down to the right. Okay, right palm is planted. Left arm is reaching over your body towards the upper right hand corner of the room. Okay, chin turned upwards. Left sit bone still planted, and we're still reaching. Ooh. And let's gently lift the right hand back up to the top, dropping the left palm down. All right, feeling that stretch go all the way down the right side of your body, from your right hip to your fingertips. Oh, all right, get that last millimeter or two. And then we'll lift the left hand back up to the top. Oof, really reach for the ceiling. And then bring the hands back to center. Oh, all right. Let's get those inner thighs. So, oh, feet together. And once your feet are touching, pull your heels in, let your knees drop down. And then just lean forward toward your feet and feel your inner thighs. Okay, active stretch. Pull your torso in towards your heels. And every time you exhale, see you can lean a little bit further forward. All right, deep breath in. We're going to take it to stage two here. And as you exhale, round out your back. Fingertips are crawling or sliding on the ground in front of you. Knees dropping down a little bit further. Oof. Oof. All right, we can sit back up. Ugh. Then we're gonna do some knee drops. Let's get the hips. Ugh. Okay. Whatever's comfortable, just dropping knees side to side. You can go at your own pace. I'll call it out if you want something to stay with. It's optional. I'm gonna switch to the left. Ooh. And then back to the right for me. Kind of like how my glutes feel against the ground too. I kind of like all of it. I do like all of it. I'm kind of anything. All right, back to the left. Ugh, but I don't like how my hips feel right. Okay, last time to the right. We'll hit each side 3 times before we stand up. Okay, one more time to the left. And then we'll bring our knees up and then stand up. Ugh. Okay. Everyone's favorite hamstring stretch. A super wide stance, toes facing forward. How wide? If you were to stick your hands out, you want your feet just wider than your hands. Okay, but reach up to start like you're trying to touch the ceiling. And exhale gently as you swan dive forward, coming down to the mat, looking towards the back of the room and greeting your hamstrings. Okay, connecting the breath with the movement every time you exhale. Settle your body, letting the stretch get deeper in the hamstrings. Ooh. All right. Let's plant the right palm on the floor, right fingertips, whatever's comfortable, and rotate the left arm, left fingertips up to the ceiling, turning the eyes upward. And with that right hand, you can even press and turn into the ground, opening up your chest even more. Okay, think about that nice vertical line you're creating with your arms. Ooh. All the while those hamstrings are really opening up. That's deep breath in through the nose. And then bring the left hand back down as you exhale. Swap hands or swap palms. Right arm comes up. Eyes are up. Opening up the chest on the right. Oh, okay. Hopefully everyone else's hamstrings are feeling as good as mine right now. If not, oh well. All right, same thing. Gently breathing in and exhale the right arm down. And we're gonna let gravity do some work here. So take those hands and clasp them behind you, or behind your lower back, and then reach the hands towards the ceiling or towards the front of the room. And gravity does everything here. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I should have done this yesterday, but here we are. All right, you can release the hands back down to the ground. We're going to add some hip action. So let's rotate 90 degrees to the left until you're in a low lunge. Right heel still off the ground for a moment. And then drop the right knee down to the mat. Bring your arms and torso up. Okay, rotate that hip so you feel the stretch in the right hip. You can even lift your right arm. If you want to stretch from both directions. We're going to hold this for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice long stretch. Let's lean forward, lifting that right heel off the mat. We're back in a low lunge. Okay, hands are on the floor as we rotate back towards the center for just a moment. And then we're rotating 90 degrees to the right into a low lunge on the right, dropping the left knee down, arms and torso come up. Okay, we're rotating that hip, stretching out the left. We'll repeat the 10 count. Let's count up this time just for fun. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And we're leaning forward, lifting the left knee, and rotating slowly back to center. And then I'll count 10 as you lift your body back up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, all right. Hello, hamstrings. All right, let's get our shoulders and we'll get our neck. Okay, standard stretching. I'm going to start with my left, but it doesn't matter what side you do first, since we always hit both sides anyways. So we're pulling, feeling that left shoulder. Still getting used to the sun. Let's switch. Ooh. All right, let's release the right arm. Let's get the left arm behind the head for a tricep stretch. Okay, maybe rotate your head out of the way. You can lean slightly towards your right, a little bonus side stretch. Everyone loves a bonus, unless you don't get one. Anyhow, let's get the right arm behind the head and pull on the right elbow and lean towards the left. All right, let's release that. Let's grab the left wrist behind your back. Okay. Right ear reaches towards the right shoulder. Rotate your head back and look up. Let's hit the front of your neck. All right, rotating the head forward, looking down at the ground. Ooh. Gently back to center. Straighten your head and then swap wrists. So grabbing the right wrist, dropping the head to the left. Ooh, ooh, this side is definitely not feeling as good. All right, rotating the head forward, looking down. And then tilting the head back to look up. And then back to center, and then straightening your head. You release that wrist. Let's do a standing side stretch. You can keep your feet apart or together, but stand up nice and tall. Let's reverse swan dive with the hands for a moment, reaching for the ceiling. And let's start by dropping the left hand to your left side. Okay, kicking out that right hip. Left arm goes over your body. No bend at the elbow. And we're reaching with that right arm. Okay. Ooh. Let's bring the left hand back up to the top, dropping the right arm down. You have that left hip. Okay, hopefully you feel that stretch go all the way down your left side. Ooh. Give yourself one last reach. And then we'll bring the Right hand back up, hands to heart center, and we'll keep them there. We're gonna go to the lower half of our body. We all know what's coming. Okay, medium width stance, mentally prepping for Malasana. Deep breath in through the nose. And then let's lower ourselves as we breathe out. Okay, and obviously go as far as is comfortable. Ooh. See if you can, every time you exhale, lower yourself even more. We'll stay here for a slow 5 count. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ooh. 5. Hands on the legs to support yourself. Ugh. Wow. All right. One more hamstring stretch before we do some moving options. Let's do a split leg hamstring stretch. And I'm going to do my left leg first. Left toes facing forward. My heels are in line. Arms back up to the top. A swan dive forward. And either resting the hands on the shin or the ankle or the ground. And drive your right hip gently toward your left ankle. Feel that left hamstring. Once again. Ooh, that's about good. Let's bend the left knee. Rise on up. Either switch legs or rotate it 180 degrees, whatever works. That right leg is straight, heels are in line. Arms return to the top. Then we're going to swan dive down. Ooh, ooh. And then we're driving the left hip towards the right ankle. All right, let's bend the right knee and lift back up and then find the front of your mat. Let's do some moving options. Let's flatten my mat real quick. All right, feet and legs together, stand up nice and tall. Let's do our 2 warm-up swan dives. Arms reach for the ceiling for a brief moment. I'm going to swan dive forward. Okay. Up to flat back. And then exhaling, rounding at your back, and then eyes up, reverse swan dive. Okay. A little lower back, hands at the top. Swan dive back down. Okay, toes are a little bit closer this time. Up to flat back for a moment. Exhale, reverse swan dive. Hands are at the top. All right, third time, we're coming down. Swan dive down. Okay, we're starting to feel good. Up to flat back, resting the hands above knees, the shins. And then as you exhale here, round out your back, plant both palms. Come into plank, and let's chaturanga back down. Into upward dog. Oof. Back to plank, push up here if you'd like. And into our staple downward dog. We love a good downward dog. It does all the things we want it to do. But as with our first downward dog, we always hit those calves. So bend the left knee and drive your right heel. Nothing like a good calf stretch. And switch sides, bending the right knee, driving the left heel down to your mat. Okay, palms are still pushing evenly in front of you. And switching sides back to the right. Ooh. Okay, over to the left. We're going to do 3 times for each side individually. We've got one more set here. So last time on just the right. Feel the stretch go from your heel all the way up to the back of the knee. And switch sides. Ooh, love it. Shoulders are starting to feel it too. All right, straighten out both legs. Let's do our crescent pose to prayer twist. So we're going to bring the feet together for a moment. I'm going to show my right. So lift the right leg up in the air and then swing that right leg through and plant it in front. Then bring the arms and torso up. Okay, right knee is tracking over your right ankle. Your quad is as flat as possible. That left heel is reaching for the ground, but lift it off to the mat. And then gently bring your hands to heart center. And then we'll come to prayer twist. So left elbow is making contact with the left knee, or I'm sorry, right knee or right quad. Sometimes I mix up my lefts and my rights, mostly because it's not even 7 a.m. yet. But we're hanging out, our hands are stacked. Gently breathing. Okay, don't hold your breath. We'll come out in 3, 2, 1. Let's bring the arms back up at the top, reach for the ceiling for a moment. And then breathe out and bring the arms back down to the mat. Plant both palms. Right leg comes back to plank. And let's chaturanga down into upward dog. Let's do a sun salutation. So back to plank. And then walk the feet towards the hands. And then reverse swan dive. Hands are at the top. Swan dive back down. Up to flat back. Ooh. Let's exhale, running at that back, planting both palms, stepping back to plank, and let's chaturanga down into an upward dog. Back to plank, push up here, back in downward dog. Push the floor away, and then bring them both feet together. Let's lift the left leg up into the air. Let's swing that left leg through, plant them in the front, and bring the arms and torso up. Okay, don't let the elbows flare out. Every time you exhale, so you can get a little bit lower. Stretching out that right hip now. Right heel is reaching down. And once your breath is settled, bring the hands to heart center and transition to prayer twist on the left. So right elbow is making contact with the left knee. Hands are pressed. Left elbow is facing the ceiling. We're settling with the breath. Ooh, feeling good. Hopefully feeling good. Or maybe feeling good. Who knows? All right, that's about good. Let's come back to crescent pose. Arms reach up. And then exhale, bring everything back down. Plant the hands. Left leg comes back to plank. And let's chaturanga down. Do an upward dog. Okay. Back to plank sun salutation. So walk the feet towards the hands and reverse swan dive. Into the top. Swan dive. Back down. Up to flat back. Then exhaling, planting both palms, stepping back to plank. Chaturanga down to an upward dog. Oof. Back to plank. Push up here if you're still with me. And back into downward dog. All right, let's do a warrior sequence with a knee to nose. So bring the feet together behind you. Float the right leg up in the air. And bring your knee to your nose for 1. Float the right leg up in the air. Let's do one more knee to nose. Third time floating that right leg up. And then swing that right leg through and plant it in front. And then as your arms come up, your left heel comes down. Okay, square up your shoulders if you need to so they're evenly looking towards the front or facing the front. I guess your shoulders can't really look because they don't have eyes. Settle with your breath and then gently rotate arms front and back for warrior two. Palms are parallel for facing the ground. Arms are parallel with the ground. And then gently dip back into reverse warrior. Left hand is on that left leg. Right fingertips reach over your body towards the back. Okay, back to warrior two. Let's get some triangle action. So reach forward with your right fingertips until you can reach no further. And drop the right hand down to the ground or left or right fingertips. You can make a fist, whatever works. And that the left hand is reaching for the ceiling. All right, let's do extended triangle pose. So with that left hand, reach to the front of the room or the same direction that your right knee is facing over your head. Okay, just for a brief moment, nothing crazy. Return the left hand back to the ceiling. We're the pretzel this week. So take that right hand underneath the right leg. Left arm reaches under behind your lower back. Okay, so you're going to rotate that left shoulder, open up a little bit more. We're breathing, we're balancing, we're doing great. We'll be here for three, two, one. Gently release. Right hand's back down, left hand's back up. And let's hop back up into warrior two. Dipping back into reverse warrior. Back to warrior two. Swing that left arm forward up for warrior one. And as you breathe out, arms come down, left heel comes up, plant both palms. Right leg comes back to plank, and let's chaturanga down to upward dog. Okay, sun salutation. Back to plank. Walk the feet towards the hands. And reverse swan dive. We survived one side, hands are at the top. Swan dive down. Up to flat back. Exhaling, rounding out that back, planting both palms, stepping back to plank, and let's chaturanga down to an upward dog. Back to plank, push up here, and into downward dog. Okay, we're going to do two knee to noses. So feet together, float that right leg, oh, I'm sorry, left leg up in the air, and then bring your knee to your nose. Second time up, knee to nose. Third time up, no more knee to noses. Swing that left leg forward and plant it in front and come into warrior one on the left. Settle with your breath. Reach for the ceiling. Arms are even. Okay. Arms front and back for warrior two. Make sure the arms are parallel to the ground. All right, dipping back into reverse warrior. Left arm is overhead. Ooh. Okay, back to warrior two, getting ready for that triangle pose. Reach forward with your left hand. Okay, I'm still reaching, seeing how far I can go. And I'm dropping my left palm down. Right fingertips reach for the ceiling, and I'm turning my chin and looking up. All right. Extended triangle pose, remember. Take that right arm, reach it towards the front of the room overhead. And then return the right fingertips to the ceiling. And then drop your right arm behind your lower back. Left arm reaches underneath that left leg. Woo! In the pretzel. And looking at a stationary part of my ceiling. I'm going to stay here for 3, 2, 1. Release the hands. Left palms on the mat. Right fingertips reach up. And then let's pop back up into Warrior Two. One fluid motion. Dipping back into Reverse Warrior. Back to Warrior Two. Right arm swings forward up for Warrior One. And as your arms and torso come down, that right heel comes up. Plant both palms. Left leg comes back to plank. Let's chaturanga down into an upward dog. Ooh. Back to plank. Walk the feet towards the hands and in one fluid motion. Drop your bottom down. Arms come up for chair pose. And hopefully everything in the lower body is touching. So toes, feet, ankles, shins, knees. But if you need to spread your legs a little bit for a little balance, that's cool too. All right, and then keeping your upper body where it is, gently straighten up. Okay, lift the heels up off the ground, reach for the ceiling. Say hello to those calves. And 3, 2, 1. Let's lower the heels down. Hands return to heart center. We're going to do twisting chair pose to the right. Ooh. Groaning as we get there. And bending the knees as much as you can so you can lower your glutes down. See how low you can get in the twisting chair pose. We'll hang out here for another 3, 2, 1. Hands come back to center. And then we're reaching the arms up as the heels lift off the mat. Settling with your breath. Give yourself one last little reach. See if you can lift those heels a little bit further. And then control the descent back down. Hands come back to center. Let's even ourselves out to do a twisting chair pose to the left. All right, let's bring the hands back to center. And then for a third and final time, arms reach up. Lift those heels. See how high you can go on this third one. Okay. Active lift. Those calves should be wavering a little bit because they're working, they're stabilizing. Let's take a deep breath in through the nose. And then exhale the heels back down, hands come back to center. I'm going to take a quick drink of water before we transition into tree. Ugh, nice. All right, it's tree time. Or for Philippa, it might be tea time. All right, let's get 98% of our weight on our left leg. Okay, we'll get the right foot into position wherever that feels good for you, or really wherever you can find your balance. Everyone's different. But we're all breathing. Let's do a slow 5 count. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Taking the right leg out. Let's shake out the left ankle, left leg. And let's transition to the other side. So 98% of our weight on our right foot and our right leg. Let's get the left foot into position. Ooh, see if I can get both sides this week. Ooh, ooh. Let's get into a stable position before I can count. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Left leg comes out. Oh, let's shake out that right ankle and let's have a seat. I'm gonna face away from the sun because the sun is getting real crazy now. Can only handle so much crazy. All right, let's do table. So palms are planted behind us, feet are planted in front, both shoulder distance, and lifting our bodies or lifting our hips up towards the ceiling. And drop your head back. Active pose, so constantly push those hips up. This one always surprises me at how much of a shoulder stretch it is. I'm going to stay here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Gently bringing your hips down. Okay, let's lie down on our backs. Let's do a glute bridge. Ooh. Oh. All right. Lifting the hips back up, rolling onto the shoulders. Don't let the knees bow out. Keep them shoulder distance apart, just like your feet. An active push with those hips. Okay, feel the glutes and the hamstrings. And I want you to go one vertebra at a time, lowering yourself. All about control. Ooh. Okay. Ooh, yes, okay. Took me that long to come down. Let's stretch our glutes now. So I'm going to keep my left foot planted. Right ankle comes into position onto the left quad. I'm going to grab my left shin. Oh my goodness. Ooh, I can tell it's been 3 weeks since I've done this stretch. Sad to admit, but here we are. All right, 3 long exhales. Every time you exhale, think about that stretch in that right glute, relaxing the body. So breathing in through the nose, and long breath out. Let the stretch get deeper in that right glute. Number 2, let's breathe in. And then exhaling gently. Nice. Okay, last time for this side. Breathing in through the nose. And then long breath out. Let's release the left shin down. Right foot's planted. Left ankle comes into place. We're reaching for that right shin. Now that left glute's starting to feel real happy. Oh. And then we're going to breathe into the nose and out of the mouth. Okay, number 2, breathing in. Exhaling gently. Oh. Last time, breathe into the nose and out to the mouth. Let's let go of that right shin, staying on our backs for happy baby. Both legs come up in the air, grabbing the outside parts of your feet, pulling your knees in towards your underarms, the inner thighs, return, and then just rock left to right, right to left. And as you're rocking, think about your spine against your mat so you can release any tension there. Okay, it doesn't need to be a fast rock. Just massage your spine. Ugh. All right, stop rocking and give yourself one last pull on the feet for the inner thighs. And then let's release the legs back down. Let's do a supine twist. One of the favorites, one of my favorites anyways. All right, let's pull in the right knee towards our chest. Enjoying that little stretch there. And then we're going to pull the right knee over to the left side of our body. Okay, we're going to look towards the right. Right arm is extended out to the right. It's an extreme version of what we did earlier at the beginning. Twisting our spines. Okay. Every time you breathe out, see if you can relax the body even further. See if you can touch that right knee and your right knuckles down to the ground. Kind of feel that in my right glute today as well because I haven't stretched in a while. And breathing deeply at your own pace. Oof. All right, let's gently bring that right leg back to center. Oof. Let's hug in the left knee. Ooh, let's enjoy that little stretch as we pull our left knee in towards our chest. All right. Pull the left knee over to the right side of our body. Left arm extends out to the left. Oof. Oh. Wow. Yeah, I'm still breathing deeply, twisting every time a little bit further, like maybe a degree at most. Come on, spine. Oh my goodness. All right, that's about good. I'm gonna bring my left leg back to center. I'm gonna sit on up for cat cow. All right. Cat cow action. I'm gonna roll up my mat a couple times. Extra layers for the knees. And we're on all fours. Palms underneath, planted on the ground underneath the shoulders, knees underneath your hips. Untuck those toes. 5 breath cycles. So breathe in, bring your head and bottom up. Chest is reaching down to the ground. And then exhale, round out the spine. Head is down, hands pressed into the floor. Inhale, head up. Exhale, head down. Okay. Inhale, head up. Ooh. Exhale, head down. Inhale, head up. Oh my goodness. Exhale, head back down. Let's do 2 more. Inhale, head up. Ooh. Exhale, head down. Last time here. Inhale up. Ooh. Exhale, head back down. All right, come to neutral spine for a moment. All right, let's do pigeon next. So let's unravel our mats. If you up the mat, okay. Slowly find a plank or push-up position, and then Bring your right leg forward so your right shin is 90 degrees from the rest of your body. Untuck the left toes. Shift back and forth, relax. Find the position where you can stretch out the most for you. We'll sit here for, well, I don't know, 30 or so seconds. All right, really settle in and stay here for another 10 seconds. This stretch is going to feel super good. Okay. Gently push your torso up, keeping the right palm planted on the mat. Let's reach back behind you with the left hand. Let's get the left quad stretch. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna slow. I'm gonna do a 5 count here. 1, 2, 3, 4, ooh, 5. Releasing the left foot, planting both palms. Right leg comes back to plank. Left leg comes forward. Ugh. Okay, untucking my right foot. Finding that position where the stretch feels good on the left side. Ooh. Ugh. Okay, let's repeat those 30 or so seconds. Okay, let's plant the palms in front, gently pushing the torso up. Left palm is planted or stays planted. And that right hand is pulling on the right foot. And then let's repeat that 5 count. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Let's release. Oh, all right. Let's do one more. Let's do one last hamstring stretch before we do our closing sequence. All right, where's my block? All right, let's do left leg first. So left leg is extended, pulling your right heel towards your soft tissue. Add my block to align my foot to stay flexed. Okay, sitting up nice and tall. Arms reach up. And we're going to exhale over our straight left leg. Oh. Hopefully your hamstring is pretty open at this point. This should feel relatively easy versus the first hamstring stretch. If not, that's okay, but something to think about. You want to give yourself one last reach or one last pull. Want to stay here for 3, 2, and 1. Oh, all right. Switching legs. The right leg is out in front. Left heel is close to the soft tissue. Arms up top. Right foot is flexed. Reaching over that straight right leg. Okay, reaching evenly with the hands and feeling that right hamstring one more time. We'll stay here for 3, 2, one. Okay, keep that right leg where it's at. We're gonna do both legs together real quick. Your quads, knees, shins, heels, toes touching. And the arms up top. Okay, for the third and final time. Gently release the breath as you reach for your toes or reach for your heels. Maybe you're only at your shins. Reach for the tops of the feet, whatever. Just stretch out. Ooh. All right. That's about good. Let's do our closing sequence. Let's sit on our heels for getting ready for child's pose. Knees as wide as your mat. Deep breath into the nose. And then reach forward, forearms on the ground or on the mat. Rest your head gently down. Just settle with your breath. Take this moment to thank your body for everything it's done, everything you're going to ask it to do. Okay? And slowly come forward out of child's pose and rotate onto your back. I know it's your favorite, it's everyone's favorite corpse pose. Whew. As we lie down here, basking in the glory of the sun, arms at your sides. Okay, do a body scan, see how you feel. Maybe there's something tight at the beginning. Hopefully that's released a little bit. And we'll stay here for 60 seconds. I'll say a word starting in three, two, one. You keep your eyes closed. That was about 60 seconds. Begin to wiggle slowly, come back to life. Reach the arms overhead, point the feet at the bottom. That's my stretch. Not even yawn, that's how real it was. Ooh, arch the back. Mm. Do that thing you do right before you're about to get out of bed. Complain, moan, whatever. And then roll onto one of your sides and rest your head and face on your hands. Moment for yourself. Okay, whichever arm is on top, plant that palm on the floor. Push yourself up, back to where we started. Ugh. Ooh. Let's do three audible breaths. Feel free to close your eyes if that's comfortable or gaze softly in front of you. So breathing in through the nose and breathe out with some sound. Oh. All right, next one, breathing in through the nose and breathe out with some sound. Oh. And last one, let's make it count. Breathing in through the nose and breathe out with some sound. Oh. Bring our hands to namaste at our hearts. You may repeat after me if you wish. May you have clear and kind intention to raise our hands to our foreheads. May you have clear and kind thoughts. Let's bring our hands to our lips. May you have clear and kind communication. And then returning our hands to our hearts. And as always, the light in me celebrates and honors the light in you. Namaste, my friends. Remember to pause your watches.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday. Have a lovely week.
Monday, all.
A
June.
full week. Bye, friends.
All right. Bye.